going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ball Hawk Fatima Lafanum of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for today. Lions Talk Live. You know what? Hey, I think we've got a good show for you guys today. We're going to have a lot of video clips for you guys today, breaking down and analyzing different aspects of this weekend's matchup. We're going to hear a little bit from Aiden Hutchinson. We're going to hear a little bit from ESPN and some of their guys regarding different aspects of the Detroit Lions and this matchup with the Seattle Seahawks. I was going to bring in some comments from Rich Eisen. He had an interview with the Seattle Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith in regards to a couple topics, but I thought it was really more about Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks than it was the Detroit Lions. So I said, skip it. But real quick, before we get into the 5 headlines now and all the different topics that we're going to cover today, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're making our march for 8,100 subs. That's correct. Over the night, we hit 8,000. So I want to thank everybody out there for that. It's a heck of an achievement. And again, couldn't do it without you guys. Also, if you would be real kind, take a half second of time, reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, the like button. As you probably know, if you're watching YouTube for any length of time, it helps all the videos out exponentially, helps it get out to more and more people who haven't discovered Lions Talk Live. So if you would be so kind, try to help us get this video to 200, 300 or more thumbs up or likes. Next, but definitely not least, if you are looking for something to consider reading, please go to Amazon.com or wherever you find your reading materials and order Kajora Book. It is a historical fictional novel. It is the first of a 9-part series. The second book comes out next year. So if you enjoy reading historical fiction about Japanese or Native American cultures, go ahead and order it, take a copy, read it, and let me know what you think of it. All right, with all those formalities out of the way, let's go ahead and get over to the first segment of the day, and that is 5 headlines now. You know, the one bad thing about the new background is I think it makes me look more like a vampire, man, because, I do not have a lot of color in my skin, I guess you could say, so I really pop out on the page. So, anyways, 5 headlines now. Let's get into it. So, starting off with undefeated Seahawks aiming to defeat Dan Campbell-led Lions for 4th straight season on Monday Night Football. This is from their good old friends at the Associated Press. Make sure you always check them out. I think they're spot on. Geno Smith and the guys, they did talk about it briefly on the Rich Eisen show. They do get into it with this particular story. They've owned the Lions. Make no mistakes about it. If you're a Lions fan, you are definitely aware of this. During the DC era here in Detroit, it's one thing he hasn't been able to do so far is to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Every game is legendary status. It's some sort of high scoring, close game, comes down to the end of the wire, and it's really 1 or 2 plays away from Lions being 3-0 against them versus 0-3 against them. So Lions head coach Dan Campbell, as you can tell from the thumbnail for this video, he's addressed this to the media. He's addressed this with his team in detail, coming out and saying they're aware of what they're facing here, and they want to get that O off the schneid. They want to go out there and beat the Seattle Seahawks. I can say this as a coach, and probably everybody out there, you can have your own opinions, but here's at least my opinion. Going into the bye 3-1 with all the injuries you've taken on, I'd say that's a pretty good setup for the rest of the season. Let's see what shakes out, though, Monday night. A wild stat that shows Aiden Hutchinson is in a league of his own. This is from Fanside. In fact, we even get a little pop-up for you guys. I know, went and did a little extra work for you guys this morning. So we'll dive into this. Let me get that off the screen. But Aiden Hutchinson, as the story alludes to, is in a league of his own when, as Fanside was saying. You look at what he's done as far as not just the sacks. Yes, he's leading the world in sacks right now. But what he's also doing as far as the amount of pressures and hits he's getting on quarterbacks, he is clearly in a league of his own, 7 ahead of the next closest person, that's Micah Parsons. Zach Allen's on the list. Obviously, you can read the entire list. It's right there in front of you. But the fact he's got that kind of leap over everybody else, that speaks to what he is doing this season. And we should all be appreciating this. I've been a Lions fan or reporter, whatever you want to say, since, I guess, a fan since the late 70s, a reporter since the late 90s. And I've just never seen anybody do what he's doing in 3 games. You can say the season's longer or whatever, but everybody gets to play 3 games in this league. The next best Lion I can recall having a stretch like this would probably have been Robert Porcher. Maybe you could say Mike Kofer. I want to say in 88 had a stretch similar to this, but nothing like this. Hutchinson really is in a league of his own. All right, moving back to 5 headlines now. Let's get to the next one. As many of you are aware, Lions made a couple roster additions yesterday. One of them is Allen Robinson is now active on the active roster once again. Looks like, in my anticipation, both him and Tim Patrick are going to remain on the 53-man roster. This weekend is the last time Patrick can be added without being fully signed and secured for the rest of the season, and we all know that's already happened. My anticipation is Allen Robinson will also make that jump more than likely after this week. They'll sign him officially for the rest of the season to the 53-man roster. And hey, let's face it, coming into the offseason here, or excuse me, into the season, I should say, there were a lot of questions about the Lions wide receiver depth. I think that's been stymied and kind of put to rest a little bit because Patrick has been productive in the couple of games he's been in. I think Robinson is going to fall into that boat as well. And you give them both through the bye week where now they have even more time to kind of divest the playbook, get more and more involved. I think the Lions wide receiver core might actually be pretty decent going forward. And again, after the bye. All right, not big news here, but probably everything most of us knew. But hey, some of you might not be aware. MCDC did come out yesterday and put to rest that Frank Ragnow will not play this upcoming weekend, that they are going to put him on the shelf and let him rest, kind of protect him, I guess you could say, from himself. Because Ragnow, we all get it. He's a warrior. He wants to go out there. He wants to get moving. He wants to be a part of the team. And there's almost nothing you can do to stop him. He really is like a Terminator in that regard. He'll keep going and going and going. But with that also being said, MCDC did say we're more worried about the long term with the season, the playoffs, etc. So you rest him this week. He obviously gets the bye week off. It's more or less like he gets 3 full weeks off to recover. At that point, you probably reevaluate. You know, if you only lose him for a game, it's probably a good thing you go out there and play him and he messes it up even further. Now, maybe do you miss him for a couple months or the rest of the season? I think that's the situation they were in. All right, Seahawks have had the Lions number. Could an improved Lions defense change that? Question mark. The Athletic. So once again, everybody talking about this matchup. You're seeing a lot of people in the national media, go into deep dives, and whether it's print media or broadcast media, talk about this Monday night matchup because it is, 2-1 Detroit, 3-0 the Seattle Seahawks. They are also aware it's going to be a Pac-4 field. They're also aware that the Seattle Seahawks have allegedly one of the best defenses in the league. You Scooby-Doo it, go inside the numbers, and you go, well, they do, but who have they faced? And that's what the Seattle Seahawks are going to have to answer when they come to Ford Field. We all get it. They started against Denver. They went and then played against a very short-handed at quarterback position, Miami. And from there, you can just kind of dive on through all 3 games. This will be a big test for them, just like it will be for the Lions. And make no mistakes, both teams are aware of what's on the line. Lions get in and get a win. You not only get a win against the NFC team, somebody you haven't beaten in a New York minute, but you also put yourself up the rankings in the NFC when it comes to potentially the end of the year and playoff seeding. So we'll see what shakes out. But with that also being said, this isn't exactly a 5 headlines now, but I want to share it with you guys. Number of you guys, I'm sure you message me or text me either on the videos or message me on Facebook or Instagram or text me directly about some of your concerns about the Detroit Lions. So I did a little bit of looking into stuff, and yes, those guys on ESPN kind of did bring this up, so I want to bring it to your guys' attention. It's about a minute-long clip, so we'll go ahead and go into this. And then I want to see what your guys' thoughts on this. This is from Get Up. This is just a real quick segment. Let's dive into it.
If someone said he's actually the Achilles heel of this Detroit Lions team, is that fact or fiction?
That is fact, and I know all the Lions fans love Jared Goff, and they should. He's gone there, and he's been unbelievable. The truth of the matter is when pressure gets to Jared Goff, it completely changes his game, and that's been throughout his entire career. So yes, and there's moments where Jared Goff is everything for this team, and he's leading them down, and he's getting touchdowns. But there are moments where he is their Achilles heel.
You yell at him now. He just made me mad.
I mean, what a jerk, dude. First Sam Darnold, you literally do it to him, and now Jared,
Why is he struggling? There's moments. He hasn't had the year to begin with that we were expecting. Why? What do you see?
Really, I don't disagree with them. The red zone's been bad pass game wise, not run game wise. He's gotten down in the red zone. He's made some odd decisions. The timing of their offense has been bad. He's just missed some throws uncharacteristically. I think that some of the injuries to the offensive line give me concern. They're 2-1. I'm not overreacting to this, but I do agree.
All right, so what do you guys think about that? Because I know the Seattle Seahawks, some of their beat reporters who brought up Jared Goff's performance, some of you guys have brought it up. Do you think this is going to be just by the end of the year? Do you think we all look back and say, those first 3 games, he got better each game. His, QBR went up, his performance went up, his numbers went up. Or do you think, hey, Jared Goff isn't who he was last year? I'd love to see what you guys have to say about it. My personal thoughts before we move on to the rest of the show is just, hey, you look around the league, it's not just Jared Goff. It is a lot of different quarterbacks who are struggling a little bit. And some of that, we've talked about it at length, ad nauseum, that, hey, you got guys who aren't playing in the preseason. Now the first couple of games of the regular season become what? Become your preseason game. Every game he's gotten better. You can see the offense, clicking a little bit more. You see the wide receivers, route running, getting a little bit cleaner, a little bit more polished. The timing, the nuances between, the quarterback and the receivers or the tight ends and even the offensive line, which they do mention in that clip. It's all getting a little bit better. So is this a lot about nothing, or do you think there's something there? Let me know in the comment section. One last thing I'll get before we get into the main topic of the day. Aiden Hutchinson, you guys all know he played at the University of Michigan. He's about ready to face his former defensive coordinator, who's now the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. Just a real quick clip for you.
So Mike was your DC in 2021. Tell me a little bit about what you thought of him as a DC and his ascent to now as coach of the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done a great job. I mean, I loved having him as a coach back in 2021. I think just him bringing that Ravens defense in when I was a senior, it was like I was having fun again in football, So he's I'm very thankful for him, and but unfortunately now it's time to go toe to toe once again. So I got to shoot him a text and give him some shit.
Is it wild to see him NFL head coach?
Can we get a comment?
Oh man, no audio. Ay vey. Sorry about that, guys. Well, how about that? So I just went for about 20 minutes with no audio. Yeah, well, that would explain some things. So hey, it happens, man. Lions King, not reading comments yet. Yeah, obviously, my bad, man. My bad. Well, that explains a lot of things. Sorry about that, guys. Well, sometimes it happens. Sometimes, yeah, I accidentally hit the wrong button, and well, what are you gonna do about it, right? Glad we didn't hear the Goff nonsense. There you go, Phil. It happens, man. It happens, guys. Laughing out loud. Yeah, I probably deserve it. Probably deserve it. But they can't hear you. Yes, can't hear me. Can't hear a thing. Well, you can hear me now, right? So, well, let's go through the comment section here. I'm guessing there'll be a few comments about the audio. Well, what are you gonna do, guys? Greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. No sounds like your broadcast, but you are talking about can't hear you. Yes, 100% there. Let's see, JDC, Brian, what do you got? Your thumbs down is probably the only one, but yeah, you have that right. I'll go with that. I'd say, Robert, at least now with the background, we can only see his eyes and not part of his nose when he has a big comment in front of him. There we go. Let's see. Okay, get ready. Yeah, I should have checked my phone, man. But yeah, there are a few comments in there. Yes, thank you, Brent, for that, and among others. Yeah. So, what are you gonna do? All you can do is fall forward. Exit 8. Go Tigers. Magic number is number 1. Who would have thunk it 2 months ago? There you go. Phil, yes, Dan, 2 hands equals 10 fingers. I'll go with that. Christopher, back under 8K after the show? Maybe, my friend. William, dark here at 4 a.m. Bo, kind of nice fall weather in Charlevoix. There you go. Atman, silent dance show. You know, sometimes you got to change it up. Do something different. You know, try to keep people guessing, shaking, etc. So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. Unfortunately, it happens. And, Yeah, problems with the live shows, right? Brian, I put thumbs down, hoping this video doesn't get shared. There you go. Lions King, the woo show. I'll go with that. Roast Bear, so how's the weather where you guys are? Yeah, it's a question mark. It's pitch black outside and raining from where I'm at. Been raining for a day and a half. Okay. Post, Phil, can anyone post Dan's comments? Yes, there we go. Robert, yeah, only 42 minutes until he realizes this. Hey, at least I got it. I think I got it down to 20 minutes. So hey, well, we're on it. JDC, let's go Tigers. There we go. Bo, soon. Almost there. Yes, Derek. Went to the Tigers game yesterday. Had a great game. What a comeback! No, man, I listened to it on the radio while I was driving around showing some houses, and the fact that we were able to come back eighth inning. And then, get the big pitching wins, the knockouts. Man, what a great season they've had, man, and a phenomenal story. Bo, gotta hear that. Sheila, woo, there you go. Let's see, Phil, Jen stole the mic cable. That could be what's responsible for it. See, Robert, I think we need a guest speaker. Yes, we do. JDC and Coach said, let the blue and silver light shine upon us. I'll go with that. Chuck E. Cheese, I hear Sheila. There you go. The all woo show. Troy, and there's Sheila. Yes, indeed. Barry, there you go. JK, it's a show. Have a good day. Bye. I'll go. There we go. All right. Well, good to see you, JK, and hopefully see you next time. See, Broski, Dan reading my comment is also more funny when he's muted. All right. I'll go with that. That's a different take on that. See, Bo, to the neon gods they made. Yes. Man, I will hear this in my head all day now. Thanks, Dan. Hey, glad I can help, man. See, Robert, we really trust Dan to do play-by-play. Place Monday night. Yeah, I'll do the play-by-play Monday night. I'll have that up. See, Jason, Dan, I used to be close, but I haven't heard from him in a while. Let the shots be fired. Phil, go Tigers. JDC, that's that's where Puff comes from, Robert Yankee. Let's see, Bo and the people blowed and prayed. There we go. Troy, that's what happens when everybody blows up the chat before the video starts. It happens, man. Oh boy, here we don't go. No, we don't. What a wasted show. Sorry about that, guys. See, Phil, don't shake your finger at me, young man. There you go. Robert, now back to, oh boy. Let's see, Batman, Bo Booth, yep. Troy, oh boy. There we go. Jason, I think Dan's just swore with the wash his hands with soap. There you go. Let's see, Rich, Dan, have another show right after this one, and this time I would like to hear you. Well, hopefully you can at least hear me now. Phil, hey Dan, is your Tesla on fire? Let's hope not. See, Bo, sounds of nice. Yes. So sorry about that, guys. Hey, sometimes technical difficulties do happen with these shows. They do indeed. Still can't hear me? Well, hopefully you can hear me now. Let's see. Hopefully, yeah, you guys can hear me now. Let's see. If you guys still can't hear me, I'm really surprised. Coach Dan Thomas and his misadventures with the mic part 2. So you guys cannot hear me? Like and background to the show, Dan. Yeah, like the background to the show. Thanks for that. Bro Spirit, the people blowed. Okay, that's good. All right, so yeah, I'm glad you guys can hear me now. So sorry about that, guys. I guess maybe during one of the videos I popped up that I might have hit the mute button. So sorry about that, and it does happen. But so you guys, whether or not you could hear me or not, I guess you guys all know about the injury reports. And at least I gave you guys something to see on the screen while I'm muted. But yeah, apologies, man. It's just a bad look on me, and unfortunately it happened. So yeah, the Lions had his tongue. Yes, they didn't want me to give out inside information. We can hear you. That is good. Hey, sometimes it's good to be heard. So what do you guys think of the matchup? How big of a matchup do you guys think it is this weekend? Lions get this win this weekend. We end up 3-1. They're 3-1. NFC conference win. So where would you rank in the scheme of things? The Lions, if they can't win, they go 2-2. Man, do you think that really changes the outlook going into the bye? I think we're going to get the win. Hopefully you guys can hear me as far as when I said my score prediction. I've got us winning 30-20 this week. Let me know your guys' guesses on what the score is going to be this game. All right, I'll get back to the comment section. And dang, I missed the injury report. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll bring it back up on the screen just because, I don't even know if you guys heard anything about when I was doing this. So it's unfortunate, but hey, audio issues happen from time to time. All right, so let's revisit the Seattle injury report. And what I guess you guys couldn't hear me when I was saying it, but notice how many injuries they have on the defensive side of the ball, and especially in the front seven with the linebackers and defense linemen. So these are the did not participate. And yes, they have an offensive lineman and interior offensive lineman out. Now, if you go down, you see full participation. So somebody coming back from injury, limited participation, another defensive lineman, another linebacker, another offensive lineman, Lincoln Tomlinson, the former Detroit Lion. So good for us. They've got some injuries. We've got some injuries. Everybody, as you guys know, across, can't read it. Well, that part I can't help with, Phil. So unfortunately, this time of year, nobody's at 100%. Nobody in any team is 100%. And then you get the news with 49ers with McCaffrey that, man, he could be in real trouble. He might miss a significant part of the season. All right, let's get back to the comments section real quick. John, I can hear you now. Hey, that's some Darth Vader stuff there. But thanks for that, John. Phil, when's the last time the Lions lost 2 in a row at home? Ooh, that's a good question, Phil, and one I don't have the answer to. I just don't know offhand. Chuck E. Cheese, 30-20. I like the way you're thinking with that. Man Bear, 30-27. I'll go with that. Hey, just win, baby. Bo, I'm going 35-17 until it happens. Yeah, there we go. Yes, I'll go with that too. See, Phil can't read. Yeah, sorry, I get on the screen. Some of the stuff isn't big enough, but so the Seattle Seahawks, let me just summarize by saying this. They've got a lot of injuries in their front seven, linebackers especially, and some of their interior defense linemen, a couple defensive ends. Lions need to take advantage of it. I'd say you want to pound the ball. You want to play action pass. This is your great opportunity to go do it. Go ahead and pound it at them, get after them, and see what you can do to use that to your advantage. I'd keep that Seattle offense at bay because it's on the sidelines. The other part is if you can contain Geno Smith, keep him from rolling around, keep him from scrambling. If you did that to Kyler Murray, I have to believe you can do that to Geno Smith, and then that allows you to do a little bit more things with the wide receivers. I don't know if you're going to be able to limit both Lockett and Metcalf, but hopefully you can eliminate at least one of them. I'd probably focus more myself on Metcalf. I just think he's a game wrecker, so we'll see what the Aaron Glenn comes up with. The other main laughing, yeah, and again, sorry guys, probably during one of the video segments, I hit the mute button, and yeah, just it happens, man. So what can you do? Jason, huge win followed by an injury lead, healing bye. Yes, that would be great. Get this win, get into that bye, get everybody right, come back, get ready for Dallas. Man, that could be a monumental game. If we win this one and then go into Dallas, they may be a little bit beat up. We're fresh, got 2 weeks to prepare for them. Let's make that happen. JDC says, Magic 8 Ball says, Lions 28, Seattle Seahawks 17. Lions King, playoff bound and picking up steam. Go Tigers. There we go. Yeah, they are, man. It's just one of the biggest stories in sports right now. The fact that you're seeing Tiger Stadium basically sold out, I think that's just awesome for everybody. I'd say, Derek, if we lose and the Vikings beat Green Bay, it's going to be a fight to the finish in the division. Yeah, I mean, you've got 3 teams standing out. Maybe the Bears turn some things around. Maybe they catch up space, but we've been talking about it all off season that this division, the NFC North, if it's not the best in football, it's got to be among the best in football. So it's probably going to come down to just winning your division games and not messing up too much in the non-division games. Sarge, doesn't look like Goff is running on his toes, or is it me? It could be. To be fair, Sarge, I haven't paid attention to that just as yet. Let's see, Broski says 27-17, Seahawks win. Well, boo on you. Boo on you, Broski Bear. See, Don, go Tigers. We clinched tonight. No better way to clinch than beating a team who's lost 120 games. Exclamation point. Chicago White Sox. Yeah, I go. They're going for the record books, the White Sox, and hopefully the Tigers just get this thing done. Maybe they can work on seeding at that point. Patrick, this is not as much a, quote, must win, end quote, for the season. It's a needed win for our pride. Now, that could be fair to say, Patrick. And yeah, hey, good to see you, by the way. Hopefully you're doing well. Jason, Seattle will be playing on a minefield. There you go. Could be. Let's see. Probably shouldn't ever hit that mute button again, but I didn't want to cough on the mic. It's Chuck E. Cheese 2022. Last time we lost 2 in a row. Let's hope we keep it at 2022. Let's see, Brent, Lions 34-20. Oh, yeah, we'll go with that. And yes, indeed. Let's see, Phil, how deep is Seattle? Well, I guess we're going to find out come Monday night. I don't think they're as deep as us, but they're going to need some real depth and help, some recovery from that front seven. Otherwise, man, they could be in rough shape. Bo, Leonard Williams, and Boy Moifet are bad news for Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, if they're both out, that would be great for the Lions. Jason, like Dan, we need to walk the walk, not talk the talk. Yeah, Phil, without Davenport, who crushes the other side of the pocket? I think it's probably going to be Levi Onwuzurike unless he can't go or something. My anticipation is, Phil, it'll be him or Pascal. Chuck E. Cheese, dang, Metcalf is my fantasy football wide receiver. Well, he is, and let's hope he has a bad game. And no disrespect. I just don't want him to do anything against us. Ryan, believe I read October 22 was the last time we had 2 straight losses. You might be right. Let's see, Phil, any report on Houston? None that I have heard of. So we'll have to see what shakes out, but I don't believe there's been any updates on him. Hey, man, Dan likes to keep us on our toes. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Keep you guessing sometime. Like I said, tried something new on the show for 20 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. Phil, and ears. Yes, keep you on your toes and ears. See, Robert, hopefully our backups are better than their backups. I believe we probably have better backups than most of the teams in the league. Kim, looking for a Lions win, but don't see us scoring 30 unless they step up in the second half. Yeah, you're going to have to fix that second half woes or issues. You can't keep letting that happen. So, yeah, I get that, man. Hopefully, one of these days, they've got to figure it out. You're playing with fire if you don't otherwise. Kevin B., woo! Can I get a Sheila? Woo, woo, woo! You want a Sheila? I'll give you a Sheila. Just got to remember where I put it. Hold on a second. And there you go. Taylor, man, I can hear you now. Thanks for that, man. And again, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Chuck E. Cheese, to me, every game is a must-win. Only 14 left. You're not wrong in the NFL, especially you want to be the number 1 seed. Every game really is a must-win game. See, Taylor, man, it happens then. Yeah, it does, man. But, yeah, I've got to figure something out. Maybe I'll just put something over that mute button so I can't do it again. Yeah, I'm going to work on that today because while it's been probably like 6-8 months since it's happened last time, just don't want it to happen again. All right, exit 8. The Bears QB out this week with a broken nail, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Bears, we'll see. We'll worry about them when we get to them. See, Don Burr, the infamous one. Goff, somewhat breakout game? ? 220 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 28 yards rushing. Laughing out loud. To be fair, even though he is not a scrambling quarterback, he has ran more this year than I think I can remember him doing really in past seasons. So maybe he has worked on that to a certain extent. See, Robert, is Branch supposed to play? No official updates yet, but one thing I will say about this, Robert, in yesterday's press conference, when asked about the injuries on the team, Brian Branch was not addressed. That leads me to at least somewhat believe he's good to go. Now, I know he was limited in practice yesterday. I have to believe that's more precautionary than anything. My anticipation is he'll be limited today as well. We'll see. Maybe he's a full go, but I'm going to guess they're going to leave him limited until game time. I'd say Michael D., any word on Bo playing? He's on the practice squad. Whether or not he's called up or anything, that's probably going to be a game time decision. Bo, over, under on Goff for rushing 6 yards. That I don't have. Somebody will have to check Vegas for that. Jeremy, Hassan Reddick trade would be a game changer for us. He's made for the trenches, one pride. Yeah, I get that, Jeremy. The only question I think most people have with it is just the last 2 teams he's played for, he's held out for a new contract. What leads you to believe he wouldn't do that here in Detroit? I'm not sure if that makes him an ideal fit here. See, Bo, the Bo plan, man, 100%. Moonscar, laughing, 6 yards seems more reasonable than 28. Hey, you never know, man. He could break off another 12-yard gain like he did last week. Does that a couple times, he's going to get that 28. See, Moonscar, Dan, you got that new, woo, I sent you ready yet? Not yet. So not yet. I've got to get it up there. So one of these days, maybe this weekend, I'll just work on some new effects for the show. See, Broski, Goff moving those chicken legs this season. He has a little bit. He has been crazy legs. And Dre, JDC, Dre, crazy legs, Forge, rocks. Yes, he does. All right, Moonscar, yeah, I might set a career high season. He could season high or career high in rushing yards. All right, guys, again, I want to apologize for the 20 minutes or 18 minutes, whatever it was, where the video was off. Audio was off. Just, it happens. Sometimes you go to cough, you hit the button, you forget to unclick it, and things happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen again, though. I'm going to cut this one short a little bit today just so I can get some work-related topics and issues. If there is some sort of breaking news today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. Otherwise, if you would be so kind, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you guys can help out with both those, they help out exponentially. Other than that, be kind to each other. Do something kind for someone you don't know. See you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.